Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and today I'm here with a project which some of you may recognise. Well, you will if you recognise this. Okay, this is a scrapbook, 12 by 12 scrapbook that I picked up in a thrift or a charity shop. I'd say probably 2 years ago now. And I use it when I've done a collaboration with another content creator or artist. If there's spare digital stuff left over, I come into here and instead of just putting all of that stuff into my stash, I make something from it. So in this case, I make 12 by 12 masterboards. Now, the masterboards could stay in here for a really long time, or there are occasions when I've got something I want to make quickly, and having a masterboard is a really good place to start. So as you can see, I mean, it's a variety of papers, and it doesn't have to be a collaboration project, but like this was Rachel Bella Craft I did a collaboration with. I did 2 sheets, but you can see I already took a strip of this off. I must have needed it for something somewhere along the way. I had a whole load of stuff left. As you can see, it's all basically, I think they were pictures based on Edgar Allan Poe's notebooks. So lots of things like Frankenstein and witches and vampires and mummies and Dracula and stuff like that. Now, I know that I've got Halloween coming up, as it does every year. Whether I'm going to do anything for Halloween or not, I don't know at this point in time, but I might. And if I've got a masterboard ready to go, all the better. Now, obviously, I can't stick all of these pictures on, or it'll just become a monster photo album, should we call it. However, I do have this. Now, these are my foreign book pages. I got these foreign book pages. I ordered them from Rachel at Roxy Creations a couple of years ago now. And just like we always tell you guys not to stash stuff, use your stuff, I haven't. I've just hung on to these. Now, you know what? This is the perfect thing because a lot of this paper looks like it would go very well with this. So I want to pull some of this out. It's good to vary the size of print and maybe a little bit of tonal change in colour as well. That's got to be quite a nice piece. I can dip back into this. This is over to one side. So my aim is I'm going to make myself a background. You've seen me do it before, and then I'm going to enhance it, or I'll use those pages as part of the background as well. I'm going to enhance it with some of these pictures, and then it will stay in here. I'm not cutting it into ephemera today. So I think we're going to get on with this. Now, I do have my mini guillotine with me. However, I also have, if I can get it out from under this book, I have a steel ruler or metal ruler, which I'm going to tear. So I normally try to start, I've got no space here today. I feel like I'm being crowded. Right, I need a bit of a magazine page to glue upon. Gluing is going to happen over there out of your eyesight. I'm sorry, guys. This, I wonder whether I fold this back on itself. Sorry, I'm having an indecisive day. It's very, very hot here. Oh, I can fold it back on itself. It's very, very hot here in Wales, and I'm feeling a bit flustered, to be honest with you. So, not feeling up to par for some reason. So, right, so gluing can possibly go here. This is just magazine pages that I'm going to glue on. The glue I'm going to use is Pritt Stick, which is the one you see me use normally. And I've got a cake smoothing tool, which I'll smooth over the top. So I'm going to start where I would normally start, which is the corners. Now, there is something I want to say about pages like this. And you've seen other people do the same thing. Oh, it's a lot thinner than I thought it was. Oh, okay, I don't need all of those amount of sheets. We normally cut off these edges. Now, what I would say is I do cut them off or tear them off. And I do put them to one side to use in other projects, like I can stamp on them, I can do stuff like that. However, sometimes I actually want to use these pieces within my masterboard because they're in the same colour as the rest of the papers. And also it gives me blank areas in which when I've done my masterboard and I've cut it up for ephemera or whatever I've done, I could then stamp numbers into it. I could do stuff like that. So just be aware that I'm going to drop in a few of these as I go along, I think. Now, let's just cut this down the middle. I also don't worry that things are repeated on the page, because I'm not going to be using this as one big piece. It will be cut into something. I mean, it could be when you do a 12 by 12, you could make a 9 by 6 journal page. Oh, sorry. A 9 by 12 journal cover, still have a piece at the top you can make a pocket out of. So just know there are options. So I'm just going to start by, as I said, I like to start in the corners. I tend to work from the outside to the inside when it comes to doing a masterboard. There are no set rules to anything in art, and a masterboard is no different than that for me. Just slide that up a bit, slide it over a bit. With these older papers, sometimes they don't like to slide. They just like to go down, and they're down. I think it's down to the absorbency of the paper. So I also do not mind if some are horizontal and some are vertical, and by that I mean that the text is either legible or it's on its side, because again, I don't know what I'm going to cut this into. If I cut it into ephemera, it could be journal cards, it could be journal tuck spots, it could be tags, it could be anything like that, which means it could end up in any different place on a page. So I don't mind that the orientation is different. So I hope you're all doing okay. I must admit, it's been, you may have noticed I'm sort of a day or two out of sync with my videos this week. Oh, well, this month so far. It's just, there's a lot going on. There's nothing wrong with me. It's just, there's a heck of a lot going on. And it's the month where everything needs to be done, like the house insurance needs to be done. The parking permits need to be applied for. What else is going? I think the car's MOT is due. There's just stuff everywhere. So it's all pulling me away from my studio, and I hate that because I love being in my studio. So, and I did take a day off yesterday. I just needed to be out of here. I needed to get some fresh air. I went and I saw the movie Jurassic Park Rebirth. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I've seen all of them. I went basically because, what's his name? Jonathan Bailey is in it, who I really like. Jonathan Bailey. He's a British actor. What else has he done? He was the prince in Wicked, and he's the prince in Wicked too. I can't remember the name of the prince though, because I've never seen Wicked. There you go. Right. So I want to start introducing these pieces early on. Now, the question is, how? I don't mind that bit of that page. I don't particularly want to stick Frankenstein on an angle. I don't mind that as it is. I'm just not in the mood to stick it on here. So actually, I'm going to have to take that bit off there, I think. If I'd have thought, I would have put that in a corner, but it'll go back into the scrap straw. So let's see, let's put that down the bottom, I feel. So yes, Jurassic Park Rebirth was good. I enjoyed it. Part of it was because I go in knowing it's going to be predictable, knowing that there's going to be nods to all of the other movies, and there were some very clever nods and reminders of what happened in the different movies along the way. I'm not going to tell you anything, so don't worry, it's not going to be a spoiler alert anywhere. But yeah, it was just fun. I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. So put that on the side there. So yeah, I must admit, I used to be a really big movie goer. I used to really, really enjoy going to the cinema. Although what I've found lately is there's not enough good movies coming out. All the good movies seem to be being done on Amazon Prime, or what's the other one? Netflix or things like that. So all things that I don't have, and basically I'm not going to put into a budget to watch, to be honest with you. So all of the good movies seem to go there, and then I have to wait till they go to general release and then see if I can watch them in some other way. So I'm going to put you there. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating. I remember the days, showing my age here, I remember the days when TV was, take that bit off there. For me, television was 4 channels, 4 or 3. BBC One, BBC Two, ITV and S4C. S4C, was it? Or Channel 4, I don't know. It was just 4 channels anyway. I know most kids would go insane if they only had 4 choices. But you know what? That's the way it was. I mean, I sometimes wonder whether 4 choices weren't better, because I know whenever my family wanted to watch television recently, there was always this big thing. It took you an hour to find something you were all agreeing on, whereas if there's 4 channels, you know what? We got there quite quickly. Right, that kind of works for me. I'm not sure I wanted those really that close, but who knows what's going to be built over the top of this. Right, was there something else? Right, this has got bits on it I like. So I'm just going to tear them out. Now, I don't mind doing this because obviously I have the digital. So it doesn't matter to me in the slightest, because I can always reprint. And although I don't usually use a lot of digitals, that is one joy of having digitals. Right, do I want him? No, I don't want him. Right, they can go, where's that bucket gone? Right, there you go. So let's just see where I can put these pieces. Yeah, I don't know what the planet's doing with the weather lately. Here in Wales, we have 2 choices. We have thunderstorms, raining, and then the other choice is sweltering heat, like you're in the Gobi Desert. It's like, what is going on with this planet? So I suppose it's the planet's revenge for what we've done to it over the years. I think mankind seems to forget that if the planet wants to get rid of us, I fully believe the planet could get rid of us. Now, I'm not normally randomly putting pieces down. I normally butt them up against each other. But because I know I've got quite a bit of imagery coming in here, it doesn't overly worry me. I don't think I want to use that piece. Right, so I've used, oh, I've got one more piece of this. Is there somewhere that could go? Maybe there, because I don't know what's going to be cut in what angle. So there you go. I can't remember what was the movie I saw before that. I can't remember what it was. It was only about 3 weeks ago. What was it? I've completely forgotten. It'll come back to me, guys. I'm a man of a certain age. You'll have to forgive that. It was a new release. I saw it on the second. Oh, I know. How to Train Your Dragon. The live one, not the animated one. And to be honest with you, I was not really looking to go to see it because I really loved the original. There you go, that will go across there. I really loved the original, the cartoon version. But it was just one of those days, I'm sure you've had them, when you get out of bed and I was just like, I have no idea what I want to do today. I don't want to create, I just want to veg. So I went to the pictures, or the cinema as some will call it. I don't mind that slightly being transparent either. Note to self, though, it is a very thin paper. So yes, that was a good movie as well. As I said, I wasn't really expecting it to be good. Right. Now, do I want to keep? That's quite a big chunk, isn't it? I think I need to take that down a bit. I don't mind leaving the pieces around the edge of this car. I quite like that edge. So yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. But I sat through all of the previews of the upcoming movies. There wasn't a single movie that's coming out this year that I was excited about. I just watched it all going past me, and I was like, oh well, guess I'm not going to the movies again this year. So there was one I saw an advert for. What was it? And Tom Holland was in it, and it looked like, I mean, the trailer they showed didn't really, it wasn't helpful, let's put it that way. I want to say it was called Odysseus or something like that. I immediately thought of Greek legend. I thought it was going to be something like Jason the Argonauts type of thing. So, and that's not coming out till mid-2026. So they're pushing that already. I bet it's not even finished filming yet. So I'm going to have a look out, because it intrigued me. It intrigued me more because I had no idea what they were talking about. I'm sure it's called Odysseus, something like that. It looked a bit Greek mythology, anyway. That's the sort of vibe I got from it. Right, so I don't seem to be focusing on this, and I pretty much should be. I don't think I want any more of these sheets. I wouldn't mind adding a couple of strips of this. You'll also note I'm not being overly exact about measuring stuff. I'm also doing something I don't normally do, which overlap stuff. And I'm only doing that because this is old. Oh, I like the other side better. Oh, there's 2 pages of it. Let's go for that side. Because it's very old vintage paper. I dread to think how old this paper is, to be honest with you. But it's so thin. So I don't think overlapping was going to be a problem. Yeah, I'm not sure whether I want to do a Halloween project this year. I like Halloween, but I'm not sure. It just feels a bit predictable. I'm going to cut that bit off afterwards. It feels a little bit predictable to do a Halloween journal. So I'm not 100% certain about that. You're going to fit in there? You are going to fit in there. Are you too? You are too. So, and you obviously, if I do something for Halloween, you'll know about it because I'll film it anyway. I'm just going to come up with something that might be slightly different than the normal. I haven't made a decorative mask in a while. I might come up with a mask idea, like Phantom of the Opera masquerade scene, you know what I mean? One of those really ornate masks. I haven't done one of those in a really long time. Do I want to do one? It's the next question. I can go in there. Oh, there's a couple of you have asked, am I going to open up my community tab on YouTube to the community? And I'll explain that, don't worry. YouTube has come out with something now that, well, they've had community and posts for a while. But what they've done recently, I will put a strip of that down there. Where's my ruler? What they've done recently is they're opening up the community on YouTube so that the creator being myself, I bet you've cut that too short. No, it's way too narrow. I can all stick it over the top of there. I'll conceal that a little bit. We'll come back to that in a minute. They've opened up the post tab so I could open my community up so that where I normally post images and updates and you comment on them, I could, oh, I've done it again, there's a double strip there. I could open it up so that you can post onto it, as well as comment on your post, my posts, and everyone else's posts. I believe that's how it works. And that's why basically I've not done it yet. I'm still looking into it because I want to fully understand it before I take the lid off that can of worms. Because you never know, it all sounds really, really wonderful to do this sort of stuff, but I've got no one who can be a moderator or something. So that means I am totally in control of dealing with all the comments. And as it is, I can't keep up with my comments on YouTube. I mean, believe me, there's about, do I put that across there? I'm going to put that over there. I don't know why that's bothering me. I've got about 800 unanswered comments on my YouTube channel. Guys, I'm getting there. It's just that I receive a lot of comments, which is wonderful. Don't ever think I don't appreciate the support, the feedback, everything. It's just that sometimes I just don't have enough hours in the day. And believe me, I spend a lot of hours in the day on YouTube. Right, so we're getting, this feels like it needs something other than this. I wonder what I've got in here. What's that? I don't want a picture of something because I'm going to be putting pictures over the top. These pages are absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's Roxy Creations on Etsy, I believe it is. Although Rachel may have a Ko-fi channel as well. Oh, there you go. There's something that's different. Have a Ko-fi channel as well, or is it Ko-fi or Kofu? I never know how to pronounce that thing. So yeah, back to my question is, I'm not really sure what to do about the community thing. I love you guys to bits. You've been there for me all the way along. I have no problem sharing with you guys. It's just the managing of yet another load of comments on top of the comments I already do. But as you know, I've just got rid of my Facebook business page purely because it wasn't doing anything for me. And also I wanted to spend more time on my YouTube community. So it's sort of, I kind of want to do it, but I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot by going, should I do it? Should I do that? I do like that strip of numbers and I like that raggedy edge. So yeah, basically just watch this space, guys. I could easily do it. I would announce it, obviously. I'm not going to just throw something out there. But equally, if it doesn't work, I will also get rid of it again quite quickly. It's just a flick of a switch to put the button on. So if you're a YouTube creator and you've done it, if you've got any positive feedback for me or anything on that, I'd be quite happy to hear it, to be honest. Do you think it's something that's beneficial? I think, as with everything, over time, it's going to come into its own. And I know exactly what YouTube is doing. YouTube is basically trying to make YouTube a lot more like, I can go across there, a lot more like a Facebook page, which in itself isn't bad as long as it doesn't go the way that Facebook's gone, which I'm not loving at all. I must admit, when I decided to get rid of the Facebook business page, I almost just deleted the whole of Facebook. And many of you feel the same, I know, because you've told me in the comments. And if in a year's time I still feel the same, watch out, guys, I may very well just get rid of it. All right, let's take that. I don't mind that raggedy edge. And just fill in that piece there. And then I'm probably going to have to take a 2-minute break because my fingers are just glue, and more glue. I'm sticking to everything. It'll also give me a chance just to tidy away some of these papers. So yeah, interesting times with social media. I'm not sure. Again, open to discussion. Social media has changed from what social media used to be. I think we all fully get that. However, what I'm finding is it's losing its way almost. It's sort of forgotten what social media was about. It's now become so advert and money orientated that it's just wrong. It doesn't work. Right, I'm going to pause the camera for 2 seconds for you, just because I want to get rid of all the book page stuff, because we've done with the book page now. And I'm back. I've cleaned up a bit. Now, well, I think about it. If you want to see what I actually did for the hashtag CreepOnJune 2025, I will put a link in the description box to my video. I made monster ID cards, just in case you want to see where it all originated from. Now, I've got all of these here, and what I want to do is I want to pull out things that I think might work for Halloween. So, I don't like that one. Like witches obviously work for Halloween. Werewolves, that's too cool. And Dracula. Okay, she's just, no, didn't do Frankenstein. I like the Pumpkin Man, let's keep him. No to you, no to you. A mummy, I've seen people dress up as mummies. I like that, that's an interesting shape. I think, so you've just had sort of an incidental flick through of that, haven't you? Right, so we've got these here. Now I'm going to lay them out, not worrying about where I'm putting them. This is a 12 by 12. I could cut it into 3, 6, 9, 12, and then cut this in half, and then I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, I'd have 8 6 by 3 tags or journal cards. Again, I could cut it into 4 by 3, 4 by 3, 4 by 3. There's, how you cut it will depend on your requirements. So I'm not going to overly worry about what goes where as regards to how it's going to be cut. Right, let's fine tune these together. I want Pumpkin Man there. I'm not sure about you. Right, let's just stick Pumpkin Man down, because I know I want the Pumpkin Man. So it's sort of, it reminds me of the book or the movie Sleepy Hollow with the Headless Horseman, and I always really quite like that. Right, I've not gone all the way to the bottom because we've got this bit of detail from the digital anyway. Someone is going to ask, Ceri, as it's this sort of feel, why didn't you put vintage photo on the edge of the pictures or the edge of the pages? Because I can do it later. So, right, Grim Reaper. There's another one I really liked in here. Where was it? Actually, I don't like that one. Right. I like this, but I'm unsure about it. Let's put the main characters down. Right, I think the Grim Reaper can go there. Now, I fully understand that Halloween and horror and that is not everybody's ball of string. I also do not in any way intend to upset or insult anyone by doing this. I know some people don't agree with the celebration. I know some people don't agree with any of this, basically. The mystical, magical stuff is not acceptable to some people, and I'm hoping those people have not been offended, but just been and clicked off this video, because I would not want to upset anyone. So, but I enjoy it. It's been a long while since I've gone to a Halloween party or got into costume or anything. I must have any pictures of me in costume. I don't know where they are, even if I had them. To be honest, I used to go as Dracula mainly. I think once I went as a monk. Did I go as a monk? I did go as a monk. Right. Everything seems to be very tall and linear, which doesn't bother me that much, but I'll see there's something like that's a nice square one. I'll put that down there. I laid it over the top of another thing. If I put it there, it can just be on the edge of that. Because see, that there is a perfect place. If I did want to cover that up, it's a perfect place for a number or a symbol or something like that. Right, that's not stuck down yet, but I really like that one. I'm struggling with where he should go, though. Now, I could always cut him down. Actually, I might do that. Let's cut him down. I don't need his body. I don't know whether he needs his body, but let's chop him down a bit. This bit will just go in as an interesting bit of scrap. Let's put it that way. So now I've got this. I'm happier with that. Actually, he might go nicely up there. You could also come in and fussy cut some of these characters out. I'm certainly not going to do that. You know my feelings on fussy cutting. I do it because it's a necessary evil. I'm not a fan of fussy cutting. Right, so I'm liking that there, and I don't particularly want to cover it up. Don't know about that one. She doesn't fit in with this. This one does, so I don't think that fits in anymore. So I've got one Dracula. That looks a bit Bram Stoker Dracula-ish. Right, so we've got we do have Grim Reaper. See, he's another one that I could take part of the head of that. Just to change the alignment of things. I think by there. Now, I'm going to finish this by leaving this relatively plain. However, what you could do, of course, you can come in and stamp stuff into it. You could do splatters, and don't forget, you could do black splatters. You could actually do red splatters as well, as if they were blood. Not that that's everyone's taste in things. Right, I want something there. And I'm kind of liking him. Do I like him there, or do I like him? I'm going to go with this one. Just going with my gut on this one. So yes, you could go with splatters. You could even knock this further into the background by coming over the top of this with maybe some semi-transparent gesso or another colour of paint, maybe just to knock it back, or come in with your oxides or your inks and actually just play around with that, just to give it that grungy feel. Right, that's going to need something in there. Now she's kind of interesting-ish. But I don't like, she's the only bit with that much colour in it. The other's got colour, but she's got more than enough colour. This, she looks like she's rowing a boat down a river. I know that's just the way my mind has seen it. Which leaves me with, I don't mind the blue, but that gives me 3 witches. I really am being drawn to the werewolf. Now, I'm not thinking about how I'm going to cut it. So, I mean, when I do cut this, I wouldn't cut it blind. And by that, I mean sometimes I will turn the 12 by 12 or the masterboard over and cut it so I can't see what I'm cutting. So then it's always a surprise as what you get as the backgrounds. And I enjoy that. I really do enjoy that. But not in this case. I would be quite, like, I would probably cut that there. I would probably cut that as a tag. That would be a journal card to give me stuff. In fact, that could all be a journal card. That could be a journal card. This sort of bothers me, but then I can put numbers and labels and stuff over that. Right, this still needs something. Let's go back through the originals and see if there's anything that's really calling out to me. She reminds me, and I can't remember what. Is that the Bride of Frankenstein? Right, are there any men on here? There are men on here. That's a different sort of image, isn't it? Yes, I think I'm going to put him down. And I have got my box of Halloween stuff out next to me, so I might consider putting a sticker or something on some of these, or a label, which I wouldn't normally do at this point. So, and this feels quite empty down here. Where's that thin one? That's the one. I think that would work quite nicely there. Let's pop you down on there, because that could become a long, thin tag for me. I mean, in cutting, I could do that as a really large journal card with the 3 images on it. Right, I'm done with the Tracie Fox images now. Let's see if there's anything whatsoever. I've got a whole pile of stickers here, which I've been working my way through cutting. Oh, pumpkin. Cutting the white edges off them because I don't like the white edges. So I've got a few I could stick down. Where did these come from? I want to say these were a Happy Mail gift. I'm sure they were Happy Mail. I don't remember buying those sort of stickers. Oh, there's a little dig. There's another one of those. So I've just found a little stash of stuff. I don't want postage stamps. Right, I've got a feeling these, not those. I think those were from a book, to be honest. I think these are from a cut and collage book that I have somewhere. Right, is there anything here I really fancy the look of? See, these are things I'd put on after I'd cut. After I cut this. I think those are a last minute thing. I do quite like that though. Yeah, these feel like things that I would stick on afterwards, but I can stick on some of these. All right, let's just pop you there because that area bothered me. Right, that's cured that. Now, because this is going to be cut up, I know that I can put more than one of the same thing down because they're never going to be on the same piece of ephemera. The piece of ephemera could be in the same journal, however. Right, I've got just a little tiny bit that's feeling a little ugly to me. I think by there. That will do. So I've got a couple of stickers here. Fairy dust, that's not going to work. Mermaid tears, no. Spider venom, vampire blood, dragon's blood. It's a pumpkin. I don't mind adding a couple of these in here. Right, where are my vampires? Right, I've stuck that there so I can't put the vampire near it. I think I like this now. If I remember, it's just a... I had a feeling this was a sticker. It is a sticker. Come on. And I always stick the stickers down with a touch of glue anyway, because I don't know the longevity of the glue that was used to create these in the first place. Let's put you in by there. Right, where's my werewolf boy? Did I put him on in the end? I did. Which I might do that. A little bit close, but it depends on how I cut these things out. I feel I'm getting better with stickers. Anyone who's watched me for a while knows I struggle with stickers, but these are quite thick stickers, so if I put that all the way up there, I've got a better chance of cutting that out. That's one. Come on, I know I've got you. There you go. Sorry, I went quiet then for a second, didn't I? Come on. I can see you. There you go. Right, Black Widow. This feels like it needs something. That, but I can't fill stuff in that I might put stuff in later. I mean, I don't have to put stuff in. I can put stuff into it later, like that's crying out for something, but it could have a number sticker in it eventually. I think that's a sticker too far. I think I'm going to call that done. Let's put a lid on the glue. get rid of this glue paper just so that I can see the entire thing. But I think that's okay. Now, if I wanted, I could go around with Distress Ink Vintage Photo around the edges. That will really change the character of this. As I said, it'll depend on how I cut it. And I promise you, if I'm going to cut this up at some point, I will show you a video of me cutting it up. But yeah, I will put numbers in here or other things. As I said, you could quite easily come in and do a really thin coat of maybe a semi-transparent white or a grey on here to knock it into the background, then to build upon it. So thanks, guys. Thanks for your patience. I know it's probably not been the most entertaining video in the world, but it was something I needed to do. I needed to sort this out. So, I'm Ceri the Crafter. That's Ceri the Crafter. Until next time, goodbye now.